Next up for us, 1 p.m. Eastern, Denver Broncos 0-3, 0-1 on the road at the Chicago Bears. Also 0-3, 0-1 at home. We're at Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois. 71 Fahrenheit, sunny, 5 miles per hour. Let's get right into the line history here for this spot bum fight here in Soldier Field. Go right to the line history. We will start with the total. It has been climbing. Opened up at 45.5 at Pinnacle, and it's now at 46.5. We have a 1-point move towards the over. Move over to the spread. On the spread, we are sitting here at 3, but this Broncos 3 is heavily juiced. This Broncos 3 is up to minus 118. This opened up at 2.5, and it was only slightly juiced to the Broncos at that point. And now they are minus 3 at minus 118. So I imagine here we're going to have a ton of cash on these Broncos coming off the debacle at Miami Gardens. So we have on the total 51% of the tickets, 59% of the cash on the under, and on the spread 81% of the tickets and 74% of the cash on the Denver Broncos. Big Ragu says Denver, believe it. Totally embarrassing loss. Danny Lopez says calling 1-800-GAMBLERS if you bet this game. I don't want to be friends with people who don't bet these types of games.
Hey, the pros are betting the shit out of this game. Let me tell you that.
How about that? I want all my friends to need to have action on games like this. If you don't need to have action on a game like this, then find somebody else to talk to. Broncos come in off an extremely embarrassing 70-20 loss in Miami. Allowed the most points in the game by an NFL team since 1966. The Broncos defense was an atrocity. Miami scored touchdowns on 8 and 9 drives, 6 of 6 in the red zone. They got 0 sacks and 1 quarterback hit. Not only that, they were one of 2 teams this past week that had 0 passes defended. 0 in the game. So Justin Simmons and Frank Clark. Clark missed his second straight game. Simmons wasn't on the injury report until Wednesday. And this is his second hip issue in the last few months. Then Josie Jewell, their linebacker, leading tackler, left in the first half with a groin injury and did not return. So their third-round pick, Drew Sanders, has to fill in for Jewell. I mean, so who of these 3 is going to be back? You need them back. So there's an expectation that Josie Jewell will be there, but if Simmons' second hip issue in the last few months, this is crucial information, and we'll have a better idea when the injury report comes out tomorrow. Only one coach in Broncos history started out worse than Sean Payton at 0-3, and that's Vic Fangio. The Dolphins defensive coordinator started at 0-4. Russell Wilson has started at 0-3 for the first time in his career. 23 of 38 for 306 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Cortland Sutton, 8 catches for 91 yards and touchdown, but he lost 2 fumbles. Jerry Jeudy, 5 catches for 81 yards. We need him to heat up. Marvin Mims Jr. had 3 catches for 73 yards and returned a kick 99 yards for a touchdown. Javonte Williams had 11 carries for 42 yards. They were 3 of 12 on third down, 1 of 4 in the red zone. The Bears come in off their 13th straight loss, a 41-10 disaster in Kansas City. They were down 41-0 going to the 4th. Chiefs put up 31 first downs compared to the Browns' 11. Justin Fields was awful, just horrible. 11 of 22 for 99 yards and a touchdown pick. He also ran 11 times for 47 yards. DJ Moore caught 3 passes for 41 yards and a touchdown. The defense was atrocious. So 4 days before the game, Alan Williams, defensive coordinator, resigned. Says he needs to take care of his health and family. Now, Eberflus is calling the defensive plays, just like he did in Tampa. The Chiefs were 5 of 5 in the red zone and 10 of 14 on third down. Obviously, this was a difficult task that he was set up with. They finished with 0 sacks and 5 quarterback hits, but their numbers were horrible across the board. I mean, forget about the 2 interceptions of Blaine Gabbert in the fourth quarter. The defense is a mess. Eddie Jackson inactive with the foot injury. Josh Blackwell dealing with the hamstring injury. Cornerback Tyreek Stevenson is in concussion protocol. And then again, Jaquan Brisker goes down. This time it's not for a sickness. Both him and Jalen Johnson were injured during the game. Very, very crucial player personnel information on both of these defenses that we need to know desperately. Take it away here for us, Troy. Broncos, Bears at Soldier Field.
So this is straight up battle of the bums after last week, what we've seen. I mean, it looked like those two teams, the Bears and the Broncos, were incompetent teams. They didn't belong on an NFL field. And from what I've seen, I agree with what I've seen. Watching the Bears, I mean, it was kind of a disgrace. Bad quarterback play is part of it, but nobody's doing their job. Don't get the shit twisted. Nobody's doing their job out there for the Chicago Bears. So blaming that one player, I get it, and the metrics back that up. And he's missing reads, he's missing throws. But I mean, this goes from the top, from the front office down to the practice roster. I think there's problems in the Bears organization, and I still think those still need to be mined. Right? We need to clean house. We need to do something in Chicago because it's getting ugly. Gun to my head in this game. You got to go with the points at the same time. And like we were talking about, I mean, you like all your boys to be on this type of game, and I know from what I've seen and from what I've heard so far, I think the sharps and the pros are backing the Bears. It's just so hard for me. There's just some interesting things I find on this Bears offense. The pass blocking is actually done better than I thought. They're grading out 17th best in the NFL, which surprises me, which even speaks more volumes to how bad Justin Fields has been. But the run blocking is 32nd, but the Bears running backs have performed great. I mean, these Bears running backs are the best positional group on the Chicago Bears right now. That's just what it is. The Broncos, on the other hand, I mean, how bad do these losses look now? The Raiders, the Commanders, and then the Dolphins by 50. Now it's starting to look a little bad. And the embarrassment, some teams rally, some teams show professionalism, but if you don't show professionalism when you're down 40, 30 points in the NFL, I don't know. It's so hard for me to want to pick a side in this game. But to be honest with you, just the 3.5 that you're getting with the Bears, I think it's the right side.
Caleb saying the Bears team is a step slow, below even Denver. Al Cervic says, if you want to bet Fields rushing, this is the game. Spenny says, Bears are an absolute mess. Just had a coach taken away by the FBI. Franchise is a joke right now. Dennis Garcia says, Denver's defense is broken, unrecognizable. Forget last week. The week before, they let Sam Howell go up and down. They don't tackle, they don't cover, and the team as a whole has a glass chin. He says, what has Denver done to lay points on the road? He loves Chicago here.
Exactly.
Slatsy says, funniest line by writer John Beach, trying to pick a winner in this game is like trying to pick what you want for lunch, and your only options are grilled hamster and a rock. Grilled hamster doesn't sound so bad. Doesn't sound so bad. Darren Turner says, yeah, I think Bears are the side. And Paco Healy says that Bears are power rated below the Broncos, but barely. What about points here? You watch this Bears team. I know you've watched them, all of these games, more than once here now, but the Broncos can't stop anything. Their offenses look pretty good. This total is moving towards the over. What do you think of, and let me just double check exactly what's happened on the total. I thought I had it right in front of me. So this total is sitting at 46. Really, it's a 46, although some books like Bet Chris has a 46.5 minus 108 to the over. It's just plus 103 to the over here at Pinnacle, but this is a move to the over. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. If I didn't hear someone I have massive respect for talking about how great the under is in this per the luck rankings. So the over does make sense. It's kind of moving through some non-significant numbers, even though I'm not very tuned up on totals as much as I am for spreads. Like, I know the most important line for a spread is 6. I couldn't tell you what it is for a total. So, I mean, I agree with the move at face value, but without digging into it more, I mean, I know this too. As the line moves to the over, it goes under at a higher rate. Line moves towards the under are way stronger than any line movement to the over. And that's just what it was last year, which is all I have cash flow back to. I have a bunch of line movement and line functionality for 3 years. I have cash flow data and line functionality only for 1 year. And that the line moves to the over, go under.
I'm going to need more time I'm gonna need more time with this spot here. I'm gonna need more time with this spot, but I find it clearly the Bears have looked worse than the Broncos.
Very clear.
But that doesn't mean that they won't have value as a home dog here.
They were down by 3 points to the Bucs in Tampa Bay with what was supposed to be their last possession.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. That wasn't a bad performance. That wasn't a bad performance. Okay, I'm going to need more time on this Broncos Bears
Yes,
spot.
it was. It was a bad performance, man.
You
Yes,
know,
I think it was, man. It's just,
I mean,
sorry.
compared to what? You know, because these teams have been god awful. Okay, let's roll on right now and move off the bum fight there.